Hello and welcome back to Tricolor Gaming with me, Fletcher. And we finally have confirmation from Frontier about what the next DLC for JWE2 is going to be, the Cretaceous Predator pack. Now we have a trailer and we have a forum post, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by looking at the dinosaurs from the trailer and what information we are provided in the forum post, and give my thoughts on them, and then we're going to have a look at the forum post and the free update details that they've provided, and then at the end I'm going to give my general opinion about this overall. Just as a bit of a disclaimer, I would say that I'm going to be looking at this from the position of, what is this going to bring to the game, rather than hooray for more content. So just keep that in mind as I go through this. So let's start off with the dinosaurs, and I'm going to go by trailer order, and the first one we see in the trailer is the Concavinator. Now obviously the Concavinator has been long requested by fans following it showing up for a brief scene in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, but also Concavinator seems to have quite a strong fan base. It looks reasonably well made pack. It's got, the two humps. It's got the quills on the back of the skull. It looks like a decent rendition of the animal. I would say that I think I prefer LA Studios' modded Concavinator. I think theirs looks better than Frontier's, but that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I think it's going to be obviously quite popular. It's another sort of small-ish, not very small, but small-ish carnivore to go alongside the other ones that we already have in-game, like Metriacanthosaurus, Majungasaurus, Ceratosaurus, that sort of thing. Next, we have, when I first saw the trailer, I had to do a double take because I thought this was Pyroraptor. It's not, this is Utahraptor. Now, I'm going to outrightly say it. In my opinion, this just looks like they've changed the head of the Pyroraptor model, but kept everything else the same. I do like the skin that the Utahraptor has. This sort of barn owl-esque skin does look very pretty. But apart from the face, to me this is just a Pyroraptor. And again, it's here because Utahraptor has been very highly requested by the fan base wanting, a big raptor species. Since we have Pyroraptor, I don't really think it's needed. But again, a lot of people have asked for it, so, why not? Next, we have Tarbosaurus. This we were all pretty much convinced was going to come. Another Camp Cretaceous animal, and the Tarbosaurus comes in its Camp Cretaceous form, basically being this T-Rex, essentially, with a slightly different back and spikes down the back. And we already know from the forum post it's going to have the Camp Cretaceous skin, this quite vivid pink affair. Again, in my opinion, I don't think it's needed. It's a T-Rex with a few spines along its back. I don't think we need it. I know the Camp Cretaceous fans absolutely demanded it be there because it's Camp Cretaceous, and the Camp Cretaceous fan base were desperate to have Tarbosaurus, but strictly from a gameplay perspective, I don't think it's needed. I'll explain why at the end. And the final animal revealed in the trailer, I wasn't sure what it was. I thought it might have been City Pouty or something along those lines, but it turns out it's Gigantoraptor, which is basically a supersized Oviraptor. It's going to have quite vivid feathers, and from the images that we have of the Gigantoraptor, it looks like it's going to have quite vibrant coloration as well, which is nice. And again, it's going to be another small-ish, mid-sized carnivore that we can have in the parks. The trailer doesn't give too much away about these animals, so let's go and have a look at the forum post, because that gives a lot more information. So apart from the dinosaurs, the free update is going to come with quite a lot of stuff. They're going to include new versions of the in-game maps, which are basically going to come with the pre-built buildings and paths from the missions in the game already there on all of them. So if you load into the Isla Nublar 93 or San Diego map, for example, the what I understand from the forum post is that it will include the path layouts and building layouts that are there at the beginning of the Chaos Theory missions, basically. Personally, I don't see why. I don't really think it's necessary, but I have seen on the Reddit that some people really kind of wanted to have the pre-built layouts and build a park with them. So that satisfies their need, I suppose. We are getting new decorations. They don't give us a full list, but we do have a screenshot, and just from the screenshot I can see a couple of new fountain designs. We've got one fountain design with the Spinosaurus skull in the middle, and we've got a large fountain design with looks like a tree planter sort of thing in the middle. We've got the picnic benches from the DFW Hotel, which if you've watched my decorations that Frontier could pull out of other buildings, that was one of the things I suggested. Looks like we've got benches coming, trash cans coming, the lounge benches from hotels, which was another thing I suggested that Frontier take, also popping up there. And looking, just really zooming in really close, I can see there's like another sort of plant pot, or like a small sort of planter like flower structure just at the back. And I think possibly the concrete planters, the concrete planter I can see just next to it as well, could be one of the sort of small square ones that the amenities section comes with. So yeah, obviously new decorations are always really well liked. There's also the looks like we got like a transformer station or something, or possibly bins, something inside. New decorations are obviously always really good to have. We will have to wait until the free update comes out to look at all of these in any detail. They're also going to make some changes to capture mode, so you'll be able to change the time of day and the weather while in capture mode. Time of day, not really necessary, because you can just change. I'm not bothered about that. You could just change that from the game menu. I am interested in being able to change the weather for capture mode. That would be really helpful. So it means that we can. I'm hoping that means we will be able to do any of the weathers on any of the maps, but it probably won't be. I think we're probably going to be restricted to the weather varieties available on maps, but it does mean we'll be able to make some new screenshots by being able to make it rain or snow or sandstorm, whatever, whenever we like, which will be good for taking screenshots, especially for me and making thumbnails and whatever. So that'll help with that. New dinosaur variants, and again, I've mentioned it a couple of times in other videos, giving us the dinosaurs that only have one version of a variant, giving us the option to change the skins like they already did with some of the other species. So now the Allosaurus from Dominion, the Dimorphodon from Dominion, the Pteranodon from Jurassic Park 3, the Brachiosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, and the Stegosaurus from The Lost World, we're all going to be able to change the colours of those animals. That might actually make me use the Allosaurus from Dominion, because I hate the current skin that it has on. And I'm looking forward to being able to change the colours of the Brachiosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, because I love that particular model of the Brachiosaurus. So I'm very happy about them doing that. And apparently they're bringing a few new changes to custom challenge and sandbox modes for species unlocks. Basically, it's stuff I'm not that interested in. They're changing the pack hunting behavior, so now apparently carnivorous dinosaurs will pack hunt properly, basically, by the sounds of it. And they're adding automated hatcheries, which will automatically reproduce dinosaurs in order to match a target population for an area. So I suppose if you wanted to do a Site B mode, where, animals eat naturally, then that's how you would do it. We'll see how that works. We'll probably have to do an experiment when the DLC comes out. So yeah, that was just a quick lightning blast through the DLC. What are my thoughts about this? So my thoughts, let's start off with the basic ones. I am disappointed that this is another creature pack and not a proper expansion. Usually Frontier's policy has been, you know, creature pack expansion, creature pack expansion. It's another creature pack just after the last creature pack we had. Whether that is a symptom of the financial difficulties the company is facing and a symptom of the fact they're letting, you know, they fired people, that, you know, that's just me hypothesizing here. But I am disappointed that this is just a dinosaur pack, and I am disappointed that this is yet another pack introducing Cretaceous period animals. This would be the third pack that is introducing animals from the Cretaceous period specifically. We've already had 2 of these packs prior, and I would have to say we already have a lot of Cretaceous animals in the game already. The Triassic period is still woefully underrepresented in the game, and the Jurassic period, we mostly have like the key species from the Jurassic period. We don't have some of the more interesting species from that period. We didn't need more Cretaceous period animals, frankly. As far as the new dinosaurs go that they're adding, this is clearly a fanboy move. Now what I mean by that is 3 of the 4 species that they're adding, they're here because the fan base keeps constantly asking for them. One is because the Camp Cretaceous fans constantly keep wanting Tarbosaurus in the game. The Utahraptor is here because the Raptor fans want Utahraptor, and Concavenator is in the game because the people, ever since Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, you know, they were desperate to have Concavenator. But I don't think that these carnivores add anything to the game as it stands. Tarbosaurus is just a T-Rex with a few spikes and is just another big theropod. We already have a lot of big theropods in the game. T-Rex, Indominus Rex, Giganotosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Spinosaurus, Suchomimus, Acrocanthosaurus, Indominus Rex. We already have a lot of big theropods. Tarbosaurus, being just an Asian T-Rex, isn't really interesting enough to warrant inclusion in my opinion. And because it's been presented in Camp Cretaceous, it means we have to have ultimately a very boring representation of it. It doesn't have feathers because the Camp Cretaceous version of it doesn't have feathers. The Camp Cretaceous model of Tarbosaurus is just a T-Rex with some spikes along the back. So ultimately it's a very bland representation of an animal that isn't really distinctive enough from a T-Rex to make it good. I've already mentioned that the Utahraptor, in my opinion, is just a reskinned Pyroraptor with a slightly improved head. And obviously it will have new skins, but fundamentally it's just going to be a Pyroraptor. And ultimately I think it will also probably have the same animation sets as the Pyroraptor. In fact, I would bet right now that it will have exactly the same animations as the Pyroraptor. And again, I don't think it's needed because we have Pyroraptor, and they made Pyroraptor the size of Utahraptor, so I don't really think Utahraptor is required. The Concavenator, okay. The Concavenator has a bit more going for it than the others, in my opinion. You know, it is a genuinely strange animal, but the purpose of the humps is still a bit baffling to paleontologists. So I think I'm more happy about Concavenator than I am about Tarbosaurus or Utahraptor. But again, fundamentally, I don't really use I don't use a lot of the animals in this game anyway. I don't use Majungasaurus an awful lot. I don't use Kinjalosaurus an awful lot. I'm probably not going to use Concavenator that often, because I tend to use animals like Metriacanthosaurus, Megalosaurus, Ceratosaurus more often. If the skins for Concavenator are really nice, it may be used more often. But, you know, I think at this point in time, there are some species of animals I don't use. And this is fundamentally my problem with it being a dinosaur pack. We have so many species in the game already. We have tons of species in the game. Do we need more species? No. We probably need everything else. We need more buildings. We need more building sets. We need more maps. We need more than just new animals. And certainly more than what are basically 2 animals we already have existing in the game with minor cosmetic differences. I don't think that this is if this is the last DLC they're doing, then it's a disappointment, and it would be the game going out on a damp squib as far as I'm concerned. And I know I'm being overly negative about this, and some people are not going to like the fact I'm being negative about it. This is a disappointing pack. The free update, there's some decent stuff in there, but the actual paid content side of the game, the paid content side of the DLC, again, doesn't impress me. And I don't think it's what the game really needs at this point in time. So, that's just my opinion on it. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the DLC and the free update. And obviously when this comes out, we'll get stuck into examining this in more detail. But until the next video, stay safe and goodbye.